And yeah, first before we start, we'd like to thank all the mentors. I know we've been through multiple sessions together, and thanks a lot for their guidance and we've improved over the period of time. So yeah, what you see over here, this is my personal chat with my family on Discord. We have a channel called Travel, if you can see. And yeah, it's a little small, but here what I'm doing is, this is my mom, this is me. And my mom keeps checking up on me when I travel. I'm a frequent traveler. I'm from Hyderabad and I'm a student at NIT Surat. So I'm a traveler. I travel by flight very frequently. And I'm 21 years of age, but still my mom is behind me. I share my location wherever I go. And see, my mom's talking about the weather. Every time anything gets done, I have to tell my family that it's done. So yeah, it's a rule at my home. So for example, my mom's like, okay, gate will close 25 minutes before 12 p.m. Go be there. So I have to constantly be aware of my surroundings, keep continuous watch over my belongings, as well as check Discord. Because if I don't check Discord, I'll have a conversation at home. So here you can see, okay, I've reached the airport. I got the pass, and then I have to send the pass. Because suppose there's some fault, my parents can use these pictures for me. So yeah, these are conversations with my family, and yeah, I've noticed that no matter how old you are, you have to have a companion with you while you travel, right? Yeah, next slide. So that's what we built. I'm trying to replace my mom indirectly. We are trying to build a companion which will stay with the user, and we are going to walk you through.
मुझे आगे चेक इन करना है. क्या आप मुझे गाइड कर सकते हैं कि चेक इन के लिए मेरे को कहाँ जाना पड़ेगा?
फुल वॉल्यूम करना.
जरूर आप चेक इन के लिए एयरपोर्ट एंट्री पॉइंट पर जा सकते हैं. यह आपके वर्तमान स्थान से लगभग 237 पिक्सल दूर है.
One more prompt.
और अगर मुझे वॉशरूम जाना है तो क्या आजू बाजू के वॉशरूम है तो दूसरे फ्लोर पे जाना पड़ेगा?
वॉशरूम हर टर्मिनल के अंत में और फूड कोर्ट के पास उपलब्ध है.
Yeah, this is just a demo of, yeah, he's talking in Hindi, asking for help while inside the airport. But before that, could you go to the next one? Yeah, so it's very simple. We made it as simple as possible because our target audience are elderly people, non-frequent travelers, as well as people like me who are frequent travelers who still face problems in the airports. So here you can enter your PNR, which you can find on your pass. You can get it on email. You just enter your code. It will have your boarding time, right? So the first thing, if you see in our chats, the main thing is reaching the airport on time and getting through the first 4 steps easily, and not having to have a voice over your head, trying to report to them continuously. So we're trying to simplify the process. Just have a checklist, saying, okay, I arrived at the airport, you can just check this off. So this is the entrance. And when I walk, here this is just a demo, but when I walk, the location changes. And if I complete the check-in, I'll click on this. If I complete security, I'll click on this. And all of these first three processes are done instantaneously. It will take like half an hour to 45 minutes. And the main game starts after security, right? So after security, if you can see, we've added like 3 levels just for the demo. These are floors. So here you can see this is the exploratory section after security. And here you have a lot of food stalls, lounge, and places where you can spend money. So usually after security, people have various intentions. They just go and sit and wait for their flight if they're late, or if they have a lot of time, they'll just walk through. In Hyderabad airport, personally, I've been a lot of times, but I still don't know a lot of sections, because from one end, easily go through this, and when I walk, I'll get a live information about the offers offered at the place. Say, okay, there might be like 30% discount. Use the Adani One app, you might get some coins. You can spend them wisely, something like that. You'll get, as you walk through, you'll get relevant information on this panel, on the assistant panel, which you can further ask for additional information. And yeah, this one is just to say, okay, you have this much time remaining to get to the gate, the boarding gate. If you don't want it, you can just hide it. Could you go to the next one? Yeah. One more issue is sometimes even in small airports, you're waiting at the gate, boarding gate, and just like 5 minutes before, they say that the gate is changed. Sometimes, if it's a small airport, it might just be a few minutes away, and you can see the boarding gate, and all of the people who are like hurdled at a specific place start moving there. So consciously, even if you don't hear the announcements, maybe you're listening to music on Spotify, you still know that, okay, the crowd was here before, but they're moving in that direction, and you go follow them. But if it's a huge airport, the current solution is you get a phone call saying, okay, check your WhatsApp. And if you open WhatsApp, you might get a message that the gate has changed. So for this, what we did was, because this is a companion ride, it should always be on with you. And as you see, there's no login or sign up over here. Just enter your PNR, it will remember it for 1 day, persistent stories, and then we're going to delete it after your travel is done. So why are we doing this? It's a way for people, the staff, the airlines to say, okay, the boarding gate has changed. Just have to keep checking the app, and yeah, let's wait and check. So this is the admin side. They're going to say, okay, the gate has changed, and on the user side, they'll get a notification as well as a live audio of it. So if you're listening to Spotify, the app will stop, and then you'll start hearing the announcement. So yeah, this is how we fix this problem. And on the map also you can see. On the map you can also see that where the gate is and how much time it will take. Yeah, could you go to the next one? There are also other options, not just boarding gate, but other announcements that the people need to make.
Okay, so hello everyone. So my friend Bhavik has already explained about the problem, the solution, the experience he has faced, and the solution that we are going to propose. But the main question arises, how are we going to calculate our exact coordinates without internet, without GPS? How? So, are we going to use again BLE, Bluetooth beacons? Not quite right. We are going to use NRF, Neural Radiance Fields. This technology was introduced just last year in 2025 with a renowned research publication. And this technology has proven to be very brilliant and very applicable in Faraday cage systems where we have very limited capability of connections to internet and GPS. So let me ask you one thing. How does this works? Okay, so I'm going to say via Wi-Fi. And you would ask, Wi-Fi? How? So sir, let me ask you one question. Sir, be honest. If I say that आप अगर एक एयरपोर्ट में हैं and you don't know where you are right now, and मैं बोलता हूँ अगर आपको ये एयरपोर्ट एक्सप्लोर करना है, you have to connect to a Wi-Fi that you don't know what it is, you don't know is it safe or not, you don't know it is public or private, would you connect with it? Ideally no, because security concerns. Obviously, we all have the fear of losing our data, our privacy. So, what is NRF is going to propose? Wi-Fi. But how? Is it safe? Let me demonstrate with this simulation. Simulation, please. So here we have used the technology called NRF, and these points that you can see here, these big dots, these are the original Navi Mumbai's coordinates of the stores, the terminals, and the security checks. The small orange dot that you can see on the screens, these are the Wi-Fi packets, the access points, and these access points are what we are going to use. So, if you say that you have to connect it with someone, then it is a security breach. But What if I say you don't have to connect with anyone? You just have to keep your Wi-Fi on, and that's it. You would get the sim. You would get your exact coordinates, your local subcoordinates. Okay. Let's run the simulation. It is a little bit blurred, so you can't see. This is us, the user. Can you see? These are the frequency radiations that we are going to calculate. These are the RSSI, the receiver signal strength indicator. Based on this and the distance from which we are going to calculate this, from this we are, yes, this is all the simulation. But, again one question arises. Why NERV? Why not the old good BLE system, the Bluetooth low energy or the Bluetooth beacons? Why not that? Two reasons. Since I am an AI student and a Gujo mindset people. So I would give you two reasons. First, Bluetooth. The Bluetooth system has a short range, and if I take an example, man, अगर हम बात करते हैं Bluetooth mesh network, sir already said that he won't connect to any unknown Wi-Fi. Would you let anyone connect to your Bluetooth and let him send data packets through your Bluetooth? Again, security concerns, right? This is the actual problem of Bluetooth mesh networks. Okay, these are the connections that we are going to, traditionally we use in BLE systems, and other also technologies that are based on these technologies, but they are short range, they have connectivity issues, they are not discoverable in long ranges. Now, this technology already satisfies this problem, and it is already proven for a Faraday's cage. So, and again, what is the business idea? So, Adani Group already has the inbuilding IBS monopoly infrastructure, which means Adani has all the Adani owns all the Wi-Fi access point in its building, so it is very cheap. Not cheap, it is literally free for them to implement it in their hardware. So zero hardware capex. Research is good, business is good. So I think this is the most and efficient and very good application for Adani. Next slide, please.
Thank you. So yeah, that was one method. But let's say you don't own all of the points, own only a fraction. There's another easy way that you can do. You have a phone with you, right? And everybody takes pictures, they take selfies. Just flip it around. Let's say I'm walking, I'll just take a picture saying, okay, not of myself, of the area. And yeah, I can just upload it. And based on the image, it will tell me where I am. How will it do that? It will find the nearest shop that there is. And it will, we have a huge data set. We can build a huge data set. For now, we did it manually, just going to Google Street View and build it out of ourselves. And it takes very less time to train it. It uses a location of shop as a proxy of your own location. So if I take a picture of this PowerMind, I already know that I know the location of this in the database. And as a proxy, I'll say, okay, the user is probably standing at that location, which is good enough. This distance is fine. So that's what you can see over here. I just uploaded the picture and it says, okay, kebab, grill and bar. And it recalibrated my location to that place, which might be in that same radius. And then, yeah, I can use the conversational bot to ask questions about it and find out what offers there are. So it works very well, and we got an accuracy of 87% plus more than 87%. Could you go to the next one? Yeah, now the limitations. We've heard this from mentors time and again, so I'm going to state them myself. Data is too small. We weren't given any data set, so we had to construct data sets ourselves. And yeah, my friend Meet had done a great job finding a research paper and working on one method of finding a proxy for the location, right? And the other method also involves data, which is data of images, which I manually went to Google Street View and collected. And there are many other places, like the map that you see was a demo, the 3 levels was a demo. All of this can be done, and we need data for it. So yeah, main limitation of the current system, we made it generalizable. You just have to have the data and then put it in the code base, it will work fine. So yeah, data is too small. And another limitation that you have said was when data is too huge and you're using a chatbot, conversational bot, or like maybe a RAG system or anything, inferencing and finding information through that database might be a problem. And you suggested there's a something called tool, right? So yeah, for future scope, I think we can go in that direction. So that's another limitation. When data is too huge, how can we, in our current system, how to incorporate that and work with a lot of data? So yeah, these are the two main limitations and future scope of our project.
And one last thing. Sorry for the last minute extension. This technology that I have already explained is not only like less expensive, but it's